Okay, welcome everybody. So it's been asked many times before to do the Mage Cabrakan and also some Bruisers. So I want to go over, the build that I have on right now and some other optional items for optional scenarios and things that, go to your liking or whatever. So first things first, this is not a jungler build. I will not do a jungler build because I don't jungle, and specifically I don't jungle any mages. And Cabrakan's still really new. He can still be balance changed a little bit, as there's like some talk about his 3 that could be, either buffed or nerfed or whatever the case may be. So let's just go on the build. So I feel like this is something like I may go penetration boots because his cooldowns as is are pretty decent. I mean, his 3 only 8 seconds, his ulti only 75 seconds. Yeah, his ulti's not the highest damaging ulti, but it's on a low cooldown. And his 2 gets lower as you level it. His 1, however, is indeed, 18 seconds. So I'll probably go with penetration boots. If you want, you can go with cooldown boots. Now, the second item here. Now, since Cabrakan, he is super, super vulnerable when he's using his 3. I'm talking like he's just a sitting target. Any mage that has an AoE area of effect, they're going to place it right on top of you because it's easy damage. And yes, you may want to get some type of defense item for that. So I would probably recommend Hide of the Urchin. It's probably going to be the one item that's going to make you the tankiest and allowing for your other item slots to be more damage rather than defense. So Hide of the Urchin is pretty good for bruiser builds. If you're getting CC'd a lot while using your 3, you may prefer Magi's Blessing. Let's say you're not taking that much damage, but the CCs are really bothering you. Magi's Blessing may be a good item for to fix that as well. If you don't need any of these, feel free to pick up another mage item or whatever. Or another good optional item is Breastplate of Valor. If you still want to be somewhat a little tanky, it's going to give you that mana that you can use for your 3. Cooldown reduction if you really want that cooldown reduction, but want to keep your pin boots. I mean, there's some other optional things you can go about that as well. But for the purpose, I'm just going to go with Hide of the Urchin. I already picked up all the stacks, so we got full defense on that. Now, Bancroft's Talon. The theory behind Bancroft's Talon is sort of similar to like Hades' ulti. Like if you're going to go like a mage Hades or a bruiser Hades, you may pick up Bancroft's Talon because for one, the lifesteal, high magical power, whatever. But for the passive, like I mentioned before, you're just like a sitting duck at that point. You're going to be taking a lot of damage from minions, multiple enemies. It's just a huge cluster whenever Cabrakan uses his 3. It's all out war. So if you take any more damage, you're going to do more damage to anybody who is in your 3. And at the same time, you're going to be life-stealing off everybody that is in your 3. So that's going to help you, sustain a little bit better while using your 3. So you're not just, boom, dead. So it's a pretty good item to pick up there. Moving on, Spear of Magus. This is specifically for his 3. It's going to be really easy to apply the Spear of Magus stacks. So it's going to reduce all the enemy nearby you, or the enemies nearby you. Their magical protection can be reduced by quite a bit. So that's going to allow you to do more damage and for your teammates to do more damage. Moving along, Gem of Isolation, like I mentioned in the first video. This is going to be really nice, so they won't be able to leave your 3 as quickly. It's going to slow them down by 25%. Same time, you're going to get some extra HP and mana, so that's really good. And magical power, it's a really great item for Cabrakan. Next, we're at the Hoodoo because we do need that magical power boost because we're missing one damage item, and that's Hide the Urchin. So some other optional items you may want, like if you want, you can get Void Stone. It's going to have sort of the similar effect of Spear of Magus, except it's not going to be that big of a penetration item as Spear of Magus is, but you're going to get that magical protection if you do need it. So that's not too bad of an item there. So those are pretty much some pretty good items there. Our magical power is a little low at 481. You may try to pick up the red buff if you can, or switch Hide of the Urchin out with another item. So it's really up to you. But this is like, if you go to Paper Cannon as Cabrakan, you're going to have probably a hard time if you don't have, a good engagement team with you. So, I mean, feel free to experiment with that. Moving along is for actives. Blink. Blink may be really good for Cabrakan, especially as a tank. So you can blink in, use your ulti, and then start using your 3 or whatever, however the order you want to do. But Blink is really good on Cabrakan. So that's something I would recommend. Also, in the first video, I also mentioned, you know, the curse. Either weaken a curse if you need it. I mean, to reduce, you know, heals, or high health generation gods. Weaken curses there. If you've been cursed, if you're fighting those, you know, assassins and hunters, that's going to shut down their attack speed by a little bit. To help you out there. So, you know, blink in, use your enfeebling curse. They're slowed by 40%. Use your 3. Jump of Isolation is going to apply to them, so then they're slowed by another 25%. So they're going to have a hard time getting out of your 3. In the same time, you know, you're applying the Spear of Magus stacks. It's this build kind of all synergizes together really well with your 3. So that's how this build kind of works out for that. So we do have our 2 passive ups. That's why our, you know, our defense is like really high. So keep in mind, like as you take damage from basic attacks, whatever, your defense does lower, as you see on the bottom left, and then of course you use it for your 2 to do that. So some pretty nice damage there. I'm not going to take too much time to do the video. Go to the jungle buff and do a little bit more abilities. Here's our 3 here. So yeah, I mean, overall not too bad. Alright, calm down, Kraken. So let's wrap it up for the video. If you have any other questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Yeah.